How to factor out the GCF. Example A. Factor out the GCF. We are given the polynomial negative 24x to the fourth y to the second minus 12x to the third y to the second minus 6x to the fourth y to the fifth. We're first going to find the GCF of the terms of this polynomial. Remember, generally the GCF is a positive value, so we can ignore the negative numbers for now. We'll start with 24x to the fourth y to the second. This could be factored to 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times x to the fourth times y to the second. 12x to the third y to the second will factor to 2 times 2 times 3 times x to the third times y to the second power. And 6x to the fourth y to the fifth will factor to 2 times 3 times x to the fourth times y to the fifth. Now, generally, the GCF is positive, though when our leading coefficient is negative, the GCF will be negative. Now let's go ahead and find our common factors. We've got at least 1, 2 in each term, and it looks like at least 1, 3 in each term. So far we've got 2 times 3. And for our x variable, we can find the variable with the smaller power, x to the third. And for our y variable, we can do the same thing. And we have 2 y to the second, so it doesn't really matter which one we consider. Now we have times x to the third times y to the second power. And that leaves us with the GCF of negative 6 x to the third y to the second power. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and rewrite our given polynomial. Now that I've got our given polynomial rewritten, we're going to divide each term by the GCF. So dividing each of these terms, negative 24 divided by negative 6, that is a positive 4. X to the fourth divided by x to the third, well, that'll leave us with 1x. And remember, when we divide variables, we are using the quotient rule here, where if we have the same base being divided by each other, we can subtract the powers. So that would be the power in the numerator by the power in the denominator. So y to the second divided by y to the second, well, that just gets us 1. So we start with 4x here. Continuing on, negative 12 divided by negative 6, that is a positive 2. And x to the third divided by x to the third, that is 1, so that divides out, and so does the y squared. Negative 6 divided by negative 6, so that's a positive 1. X to the fourth over x to the third, that's going to leave us with x, so that'll be a positive 1x, or we can just say x. And then y to the fifth divided by y to the second, that gives us y to the third. So then our original polynomial in its factored form will equal the GCF times the result that we got in our last step. Now you can always check your factored form by distributing back the GCF and checking to see whether or not you get the original polynomial. That is all.